YouTube, welcome to Geek Shh. All right, y'all. So I know this is one that y'all been waiting on, but before we get into it, if you need a detailed explanation of my 4K transcode process, please by all means click on the link in the description. It'll take you to one of my older videos where I will explain everything in detail. All right, so firstly, we're going to start off with my regular 4K algorithm so you can compare these results to my older videos. Then we're going to jump into the 4K RemuX test. After that, we're going to hop on over to the 4K AV1 test. Then we're basically going to start all over from the beginning, but instead of hardware transcoding, we're going to be doing software transcoding. Now, before we start, please, by all means, like the video. Please, it really will help the channel out a lot. And if you can, please leave a comment. So let's go ahead and get things started. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and push this into hardware transcoding and get this thing started. We're going to start off with the regular 4K algorithm that I always use on all my videos. Then we're going to hop on over to the RemuX, and then we're going to check out some 4K AV1 files. So let's go ahead and get things started. I went ahead and put that there. Let me push this into dashboard. All right. So here's the 4K movies, the regular algorithm. First, let's check in with the system real quick. Hold on a second. Let me, all right, so this is activity monitor. This is how we're going to be able to keep up with the memory. This is the GPU history right here. Obviously, this is the Mac Mini. This is the current CPU usage right here. This is the CPU history right here. And right here is another program that we're going to do to monitor the GPU load. This is called GPU Monitor Pro. You can find it in the App Store. So this is right here. So these two are for the GPU and the rest is for CPU. So let's go ahead and get things started. Let me see what's going on. So you see right here, we have 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores. So let's go ahead and get things started right here. So, and no, for anyone who asking that question on the old videos, people was asking, are you using the same computer for both? No, it's 2 separate computers. This is the Mac Mini, the M4 Mac Mini, right? This computer right, I'm remoting into it. This computer right here is a whole different computer. This is my Hackintosh. Look at the top. Look at the top. Can the icons come up at the bottom? Okay, there we go. Look at the bottom. All right, it's a total different computer, bro. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get things started. We're gonna start off with Glory. You know what I mean? Classic movie. You already know how it go. Let me go ahead and exit out of that. All right, so we're gonna start off with Glory. Let's get things started with that. All right, you know I already tell y'all all the time, Denzel Washington crying. You got Morgan Freeman. You got Matthew Broderick. Now, I was just watching Lean on Me, man. I was just saying, damn, Lean on Me was so damn good with Morgan Freeman, man. But you know, these laid the groundwork for them to get those future projects right there. Before we even transcode the second one, let's check in with the system. Let you see how everything is going. All right, jumped up to 6 gigs of memory used. So, all right, so second movie, Glory. You know, Bruce Willis. I'm gonna try to hurry this up because we got a long way to go. We got to do the remuxes as well. So we'll try to hurry this up, and we're gonna jump back in here on the third one. Hold on a second. Then we got Hocus Pocus. Like I always tell y'all, I haven't seen this one, but you know, the first one was definitely a classic. I still ain't sit down and watch this one, but you know, shout out to Sarah Jessica Parker, definitely a legend. You know what I mean? So still ain't watched this one. Third one, let's jump back in here. Now, the only reason you seeing this GPU load like that is really because I'm remoting into it. I'm telling you. That's the reason, only reason you're seeing that. You know, I ran this test a few different times. All right, let's jump into Home Alone, classic movie, classic Christmas movie. Shout out to Macaulay Culkin. Definitely need to do a part 3 of this. Let's jump here. Let's get that going. Let's check back in right here real quick. See, we hardware transcoding. Everything going well. You got a little bit of information here as well. But yeah, so we're hardware transcoding, everything going well. Let's go to the Aretha Franklin movie, RESPECT. Like I always tell y'all, I didn't really like this movie. You know what I mean? It was just something to watch. You know, they stepped up the biographies a long time ago with Jamie Foxx in them and Ray. So this one coming after it is like, you gotta go hard or go home. They didn't really go hard. So then we got Infinity War. Thanos, you already know, one of the coldest people I ever seen on screen. I always say that about Thanos. It was just insane with him. So we got that running. Check back in with the system real quick. All right, we see what's going on here. Nothing too crazy. We done jumped up to 9 gigs of RAM being used, but nonetheless, let's continue. That's Infinity War. Let's go to Terminator Genisys. Definitely a good movie. 2015, they came out with this one. As someone that watched Terminator since I was a kid, man, I really like this movie. I really like what they did here. Not saying I like it to the point that I ever went back and watched it, but I liked it. I really enjoyed it when I watched it. Not only this one, but they also did Rambo. I enjoyed that one as well. So let's go over here to Sisu. Still ain't watched Sisu. Still ain't watched Sisu to this day. I definitely gotta check it out one day. You know what I mean? It might not be too bad. I gotta at least look up the IMDb rating and see what the general census of it is. All right, so that's Sisu. Let's hop on over to Ambulance. Ambulance. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just something to watch. Shout out to Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever his name is. That guy had a real good show on Apple TV. If you haven't watched it yet, it's called what is it? Presume Innocence, I believe was the name of it. I can't remember. But it was a real good show with a real good ending. It was actually a movie that they remade into a television show. So what are we looking at right here? The Nun. Now, you know the Nun usually scare the transcodes off. You already know how that go. The Nun usually scared the transcodes off. Let's see if she's able to do it right now. Now, I did watch the Nun 1. I watched parts of this one. I gotta finish it. It has Storm Reed in it. The girl that's from the... Wait a minute. Is Sisu buffering? Sisu can't be buffering. I think it's just one of those parts in the movie where there's no sound. That happens a lot with Sisu. Sisu in the beginning of Glory. There's just no sound at the moment. So that's why that was happening. Let's check in and make sure everything is actually going and nothing is buffering. We're pretty good here. Everything is hardware transcoding. So I think we got 10. All right. Yeah, we got 10. All right. So let's check back in with the system real quick. I'm going pretty fast on this one because we got a long way to go. So we jumped up to 10 gigs of memory and you see the GPU load. This GPU load, I promise you, is only like that because we're remoting into the system. I promise you. So I need to remote in the system because I want y'all to see what's going on. I could do it and just look at it on my own, but you know, I'd rather y'all be able to see it. So here we go with Focus. Now, Focus was definitely a cool movie. It had that white girl that played, I forgot her name, Harley Quinn, Margot, or whatever her name is, man. That is a beautiful white woman. No Umar. No Dr. Umar on that one. That's a beautiful white woman. So we see what's going on here. Nothing is going too crazy. Everything is, you know, basically relaxed. So we jumping up to Talk to Me. Talk to Me is definitely a good movie. Good horror film. I really liked it. Did I ever go back and watch it again? No, but I really think it was a good horror film. One of the better horror films of that year. I believe it came out last year. It was definitely one of the best ones of that time when it came out. I really, really liked it. So shout out to Talk to Me. Let's go ahead and push that transcode. It's taken a long time, but it went through. So after Talk to Me, let's go to the last Voyage of Demeter. Wait a minute. What's going on with Talk to Me? Talk to Me is one of those movies as well. In the very beginning, they have parts where there's absolutely no sound. That's why the speaker icon goes away in the very beginning, but it's not buffering. So last Voyage of Demeter, I really like this more than even Talk to Me. I really enjoyed this movie overall, and from the ending, it looked like they're going to have a part 2 to it. So it's definitely something that we got to look out for. So the last Voyage of Demeter, let's see if it go ahead and start the transcode, and we're going to check back in to make sure nothing is buffering. But Talk to Me is just one of those movies in the beginning, it be like that. So hold on a second, let's go in here and make sure nothing is buffering. Let's go to talk to me. See, talk to me is playing. Everything is hardware transcoded at the moment. So let's go ahead and check in with the system real quick. As you can see, we jumped up to a little under 12 gigs of memory used. And you see what's going on here. The GPU load is not even crazy at all. A lot of that is because we're remoting in, like I told you. The CPU is not really going crazy because we are doing hardware transcoding. So the GPU or the CPU don't really look like it's doing that much. So after that, what we're going to the Evil Dead Rise. We got 13 up right now. So we're going into Evil Dead Rise. I still haven't watched this movie, but this is something that a lot of people like. A lot of people like this series. I really got to try it out. Friends of mine told me that it started way before that. They have movies. The origin of it is, you know, is a movie from years ago. I forgot the name of it, but they told me to watch it. I never got around to it. So, but a lot of people enjoy this. So shout out to them on that one. Then we going over here to the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, I really enjoyed this movie with Jonathan Majors. I like the fact that they had Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas in it. You know, I watched them in the 90s. Those are real legendary actors and actresses from the 90s. So I like the fact that they decided to bring them back for this movie. I thought that was, whoever made that decision did a real good job. You know what I mean? Especially Michelle Pfeiffer. I haven't seen Michelle Pfeiffer in years. I don't know what she does these days, but it was like she was in so many movies when I was a kid. So we went ahead and got it started. It was definitely a good movie. Let's check back in with the system. All right, you see the GPU is not really doing much at all. Neither is the CPU. This is the CPU usage currently. This is the CPU history. Neither one is really doing much at all, I promise you. It's crazy to the point I don't really understand why, but here we go. We're going to the next one, Indiana Jones. I definitely like Indiana Jones, and this is the 16th one right here. 16 is a significant number that I'll talk about real soon. So this is the 16th one right here that we got going. Indiana Jones, you know me, I grew up on these movies and I really like what they did with this movie. They did a pretty good job. Shout out to Harrison Ford. You know, Harrison Ford was in the Yellowstone series, not the actual Yellowstone show, but they made other shows around it, taking place like a generation or two before it, and Harrison Ford is in it, and I think he does a real good job. Harrison Ford is definitely a legendary actor. So checking in with the system, y'all see what's going on here. The GPU load still don't look like it's crazy, but we have a lot of movies up right now. We have 16 going simultaneously, so it's looking real good. Nothing is buffering, everything is moving. 16 going. Now that we have 16 going, let me just go ahead and check the watt meter that I have the computer on. Let me see if it went 15 watts right now, the watt meter. So we got all of these 16 going right now. So let's get to the next movie. Let's check back in with the system real quick, as you can see. All right, so we got 16 going. Let's go into one of the new movies, Never Let Go. This is Halle Berry. So this is one of her new ones. I honestly don't know why she did this damn movie, because this movie was not good at all, man. It's definitely a big budget movie. Someone put up the funds for it. They thought it was going to be better than it turned out to be. So this was definitely disappointing seeing, tell you the honest truth. But let's see if it's going to load up. Let's see if it's going to go through. Right now, we got 16 going right now. So let's see what's going on here. Is it going to load? It's definitely hurting. It's taking a long time, but let's check it out. Let's see what's going to happen. All right, so it finally went through, and let's go ahead and push that transcode through. And yes, that's 16. All right, hold on. Let's see. We're up to like 13 gigs of memory being used. So we didn't tap out yet at 16 as of yet, but we're definitely up to 13. So it's definitely going up. So let's see what's going on with the Never Let Go. Home Alone just buffered. This Home Alone, this is Hocus Pocus. All right, so boom, right there, we're tapping out at 16. We're tapping out at 16, but you know, I really wanted you guys to focus in on the GPU load, because that's insane. It doesn't really reflect high GPU usage when you're using it on this M4 Mac Mini. And it's not a situation where, okay, maybe something wrong with that app, because here's GPU history and you can see it's not much usage at all. So I just turned off all these movies, all these transcodes I turned off, and let's check back in with the system. It still shows around that same percentage. It's really because I'm remoting in. So anyway, let's get to the next batch of testers. We're going to go into the RemuX Movies. Now these are a real huge file on the screen. I will show you the sizes of these files. These are really huge, but let's go ahead and get things started. Let's make sure everything cleared out over here. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get this started right here. So we got the RemuXs. First thing first, Batman Begins. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Batman Begins? Some of the best cinema we ever seen in our life. Now, me being someone that grew up in the 80s, the 90s, I remember Michael Keaton as Batman. I remember the goofy little Batmans that they used to do. Remember with Tommy Lee Jones and all of them? It was real goofy. It was real weird. When they came out with this Batman, oh my God, they really shook things up. Let's check in with the system real quick. All right, you see what's going on here. All right, everything cool. It's not really doing much. Now we're back under 5 gigs of memory being used. That's significant. So after that, let's go into Zodiac. Now Zodiac is a huge file. It's the biggest RemuX. It's like 90 gigs. You know what I mean? So it's definitely the biggest RemuX that I have, the biggest movie that I have. But let's go ahead and let's push that into transcoding. Oh my God. Now Zodiac was a pretty good movie. You know, Robert Downey Jr., he's just an amazing actor, man. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't get the credit that he deserved. That is one amazing actor, and he did a very good job on this. Are we checking in with the system real quick? So that's going ahead and that's transcoding. Let's get into the third one, American Gangster, which I think is Denzel's biggest movie that he ever did. It has to be between this and Training Day. One of them. I think it was really this one. I think this made more in the theaters than Training Day, but I'll check it for next time. You know what I mean? So we got 3 transcodes up right now, and we're hardware transcoding all of them. So let's go in and let's just see. Y'all see what's going on there. Let's check in. All right, we're around 20%. All right, so we're going up there. All right, so let's go in with Glory. Now, Glory is one of the reasons Denzel was able to get to the point where he can do a movie like American Gangster or Training Day or any of those movies, because he really showed what he had in this one. This was a big opportunity for not only Denzel, but Morgan Freeman and all of them. And they really took advantage of it. I think Morgan Freeman did Lean on Me after that. So let's go into the Dark Knight real quick. I think he did Lean on Me after that. I'm not 100% sure. Now, Dark Knight, oh my God, bro. Oh, some of the best cinema I ever seen with my own 2 eyes, hands down. This thing was utterly amazing. You got Heath Ledger, who, when I watched this movie like 2 or 3 times, I did not even know it was him. I seen Heath Ledger in plenty of movies. He really hit this one out the park. So we up to 8 gigs of RAM being used. He really hit that role out the park. I never knew it was him. And he died around that time too. It was so sad. He never even got a chance to reap the glory, because he probably would have won every goddamn award imaginable because of his role on that. Dark Knight Rises again. Come on, Dark Knight Rises. Bane. Commissioner. Yes. Yes, my friend. Like, I can't even get his voice down pat right now, but I used to have his voice back in the day. But oh my God, Bane, man. Jesus Christ. I still can't believe he decided not to do this. Now, did Dark Knight buffer? No, Dark Knight didn't buffer. Remember, we ran into that situation, that same situation, just a part of the movie where it's real quiet. So now let's go into Groundhog Day. Classic movie right here. Bill Maher. He got a chance to right his wrongs. Bill Murray, whatever. Bill Murray. Now this guy right here, man, he is a legend. I watched so many of his movies. One of his movies that I really like watching around Christmas time, not only Home Alone, but Scrooge. He did Scrooge. and he did an amazing job in that movie as well, man. This guy is an absolute legend, and he has plenty of great movies that he did. So we went ahead and pushed that transcode. So right now, how many we have going? We have 7 right now going. Hardware transcoding all RemuX Movies. So it's definitely doing its thing, and it's hovering around 20%. You know, the CPU not really going too crazy. So, all right, we got that going. So let's go into Home Alone. We already talked about Home Alone in the regular 4K algorithm. Let's go ahead and push this through. Remember, this is a RemuX movie as well. That's you know, that's one of the only 2 RemuXes in my regular 4K algorithm. So let's go ahead and push that. And you see that's 73 megabytes. Let's see. All right, let's push this through. So shout out to Macaulay Culkin, and let's keep going. Let's see what we could do. Oppenheimer is one movie that I still never watched through, man. I'm still falling asleep on it. I gotta try it out again. Maybe I'll try it again, you know, tomorrow or something for a Sunday movie. But this is definitely one that, you know, a lot of people thought it was amazing. Christopher Nolan, the same guy that did The Dark Knight and all the Batmans, he did this one. So, you know, when he wants to do a movie, people listen because, you know, he's great at what he does. So I definitely got to check this out again. So Oppenheimer, we got that going. So how many we got right now? We got 9 going right now. We have 9 going right now, all RemuXes. And you see the GPU is not really going crazy. It doesn't really show that it's doing a lot. But nonetheless, let's keep going. Come on, man. Tony Montana, come on, man. Come on, I never turn on you, Frank. I never turn on you. Another Quelu, she'll love me in the morning. Come on, man. Scarface, man. It don't get no better than well, it does get better than Scarface, but god damn it, Scarface is one of the best movies ever. Definitely a classic, a cult classic, an overall classic. Al Pacino at his best, hands down. I was thinking for a second, was Al Pacino better in Heat? No, Al Pacino wasn't better than Heat. This is Al Pacino at his best, at his finest. So we got, how many we got right now? We jumped up to like around 11 gigs of RAM being used. GPU load, it never really shows it. It never shows it going crazy for some reason. But nonetheless, we see what's going on here. Scarface is definitely transcoding. Let's check in to make sure hardware transcoding is definitely on. We have 10 RemuXes going right now. Let's go to the next movie, Signs. Mel Gibson, my man Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has so many classics. He did not disappoint in this one at all. Mel Gibson has so many classics in the 90s, man. When it comes to one of the best careers in acting, Mel Gibson has to be top 5, bro. When we just looking at careers, man, he has to be top 5. That guy that was in Home Alone as well, he has a crazy career as well. The short guy that was on there, because his range was crazy. So he is definitely top 5 as well. I can't remember his name, but the short guy that was in Home Alone, he had so much range. He had Home Alone, he had Casino, he played bad guys, good guys, everything. He did so well. But Mel Gibson, hands down, man, his career is definitely up there, man. So let's get to the next one. Signs. Look like it. Wait a minute. It looked like it might have been buffering. Hold on. We got 11 going right now. Hold on. Let's check back in with Signs. This is where Signs is. We got to see if it buffers. You know, some movies in the very beginning, it'd be, you know, a lot of stuff going on. Now we got American Pie. This is a classic movie when it came out, hands down, man. American Pie. This joint had me dying laughing. I think when it comes to like funny white boy movies, I think, you know, American Pie started it. Then you had Napoleon Dynamite. Then you had Superbad. Dumb Things was just, oh my God. Superbad was just the funniest thing on God Green Earth. But American Pie, when it came out at the time, Stifler's mom, they came up with the term MILF. Nobody knew what they was talking about with MILF. MILF was definitely a crazy term that they came up with, but let's see if it goes through. Is it gonna push the hardware transcoding? Hold on, let's see what we're doing right here. But we got a lot of movies. Remember, these are RemuX movies. These are huge files. But American Pie is definitely one of those classic movies, man. This is, I'm not gonna hold you. This is when I found out that men have a G spot in, you know, back there. Like, I didn't even know that. I never confirmed it, but this was the movie that really, talked about that. So American Pie, then we over here, we got Inception. Let's go ahead and get it started, man. Remember, these are all RemuX movies. This is a lot going on. Now, we was talking about people with an amazing career in movies. Listen, let me tell you something. Leonardo DiCaprio, hands down, Leonardo DiCaprio he has to have one of the top 3 careers in movies, hands down. Leonardo DiCaprio got so many hits. He got so many classics. It's not even funny. I'm talking about back in the 90s, even before, Titanic. Titanic was the breakout one. And the reason why, not only is, I'm glad I'm finally able to talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. Not only is Leonardo DiCaprio one of the best actors, hands down, that ever walked planet Earth, he didn't do it for money. He only did it for the art. So after Titanic, when he had this huge, the biggest movie at the time, it was like $1 billion or whatever, way before Avatar, they was trying to offer him $20 million for roles, but he didn't really want it. He was never chasing the money. We were a little under 12 gigs of memory being used right now. And you pay attention to the GPU load, it never shows that it's doing a lot. It's crazy, but nonetheless, Inception was definitely another classic, and he had another actor that I feel like is on the, same type of time that he on, where it's really not about money, it's really about the art, and that's Ellen Page. Ellen Page is a legendary actress, but she just never was a huge star. But if you go back and watch a lot of Ellen Page movies, bro, she is extremely talented, extremely talented. But she was just like Leonardo DiCaprio. She didn't want the money. It's not about the money with them. It's about the art. So love them, man, hands down, and to with Leonardo DiCaprio, is, maybe like some movies I didn't like of his. Oh, okay. Inception is definitely buffering. Let's check in. Hold on. Okay, well, I guess it was just a hiccup. All right, so this one went through. So we got to keep going until, we no longer could go no more. Let me push this through to a transcode. Okay, American Gangster is buffering. Okay, we tapped out. American Gangster is definitely buffering. Let's see. Is that American? Oh, that's American Pie. My bad. My bad, y'all. So that's definitely buffering. It was buffering for a second there. In and out. I don't even think in and out gonna really start. We definitely get into that place. You see the GPU load right there. Inception is buffering. Yeah, we're tapped out. We're tapped out. That's 3. Yeah, Signs just went out as well. So that's 3. So, but we got pretty far. We got to 14. This thing is powerful. And let me check back in with the wattage. So the watts is a little under 15 watts, bro. This thing is a beast, bro. But yeah, like we could get to like 10, 11. Hands down, this thing is a beast, bro. To the AV1. All right. So we're gonna start off with this movie right here, Rain Man classic movie. When how we was talking about people with crazy careers, Tom Cruise is up there as well. I don't want to say Tom Cruise is top 5, but he's definitely like top 10, hands down. He's definitely top 10. So automatically, it transcodes, and you see what's going on here as we play it. Automatically, it transcodes. So let's go ahead and push it down to 720p. Now, this is AV1. You remember M4 Mac Mini is the first Mac Mini with AV1 support. Now, in my older videos, when I did the M1 and M2, I made a point of doing AV1 to see how the system reacts. Feel free to compare this one to my older videos. That's why I did that. Even though I knew it didn't have AV1 support, I went ahead and did that just to see how the system reacts to it. Now we're going into Van Helsing, which was a vampire slayer movie. And I really like this movie. I thought it was cool. They did a good job. I really liked the TV show that they had with the woman. I only watched like the first season, and I thought it was pretty good as well. So here we go right here. You see what's going on here. GPU is really not doing nothing. The CPU is kicking up now more than it was before. So let's get to the third one, which is Full Metal Jacket. And for me, when it comes to these AV1s, it's really just to see how the system reacts overall to it. Now, there's not a lot of clients that can direct play AV1. That's a problem out there, but like, you know, Apple did the right thing. They added the AV1 support. So I know a lot of people wanted to see this right here. So you see exactly what's going on. You see the CPU going crazy right now. It's definitely going to get into it to play these, to help transcode these. Let's get to the creator. I still ain't watched this movie. This is Denzel Washington's son right here. Boy, when they talk about nepotism with LeBron, I don't know why they have him as the #1 person that received nepotism, because at the end of the day, Denzel Washington's son had some huge movies for someone that didn't have a crazy career history. He wasn't in a lot of movies leading up to this. He just really jumped in to big budget movies, which is low-key unheard of. It's really make it seem like this is Denzel pulling some strings behind the scenes, making some promises to like some studios. Maybe this was a movie that they wanted Denzel to play, and then Denzel turned it down, but he said, hey, let my son play it, and then, you know, maybe we can work out something with the next movie. I don't know. I'm just speculating. So they go to Bronx Tale, another, you know, real memorable moment, real memorable movie from the 90s. You know what I mean? And I guess you could call it a classic, you know what I mean? But, you know, definitely a great movie. So, all right. So you see the CPU going absolutely crazy with 5 of them. You know what I mean? CPU is losing its mind with 5 of them going right now. But the GPU still ain't doing much. It still ain't going crazy. But you see what's going on. Now, feel free to go back and watch my M1 and my M2 coverage of, all right, I think we tapped out. Did we tap out on Creator? No. But yeah, these are my 5 movies. I only got 5 of the 4K AV1s. But this definitely handles way better than the other ones because it has AV1 support on here. This is the first one they did this with. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Apple comes out with an Apple TV. The next Apple TV, which should have AV1 support. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out when that comes around. But yeah, you see how things are going right here. You have the AV1 support, so things are good. So now what we're going to do right now, we're going to turn off hardware transcoding. We're going to turn it off. And then we're going to get back into the regular 4K movies. We're going to see how that, oh, maybe we should just go directly into the remuxes. But all right, let's go into the 4K, the regular 4Ks. Let's see how it is. Let's do this quick. Got Glory. Now this is without hardware transcoding. This is software transcoding. So this is really using the CPU to do the transcode rather than the GPU to use the transcode. So this is interesting. Let's check in with the system real quick. You see the CPU going crazy. CPU losing its mind, you know what I mean? Because we're doing software transcoding right here. So let's get into the second one. And I want to make this pretty quick. The software transcoding. Overall, this is a beast of a this M4 Mac Mini, bro. This shit is a beast, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This thing is an absolute beast. So we're doing software transcoding, second movie. CPU still going crazy. GPU is not really doing much because it's all about the CPU right now with software transcoding. Let's get into the third one. I honestly don't remember. I know I ran this test before, but I don't remember what movie we stopped at. I honestly don't remember. But hold on. I think I hear the fans kicking. I don't know for sure. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go. So we got Hocus Pocus. Let's keep going till we can't go no more, man. We got Home Alone. Let's go. All right. Oh, Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. You already know what it is. I already spoke about that. Let's push this one. Let's see where it's going to stop at. The CPU load is definitely crazy, though. I'm not going to hold you. Let's see how it is. CPU load is going crazy. GPU not really doing much, but that CPU is losing its mind, boy. Like, and I definitely hear the fans on the Mac Mini kicking on. It's definitely kicking on right now. So let's go before we go to RSE, the Respect movie. Let me check out the wattage. All right, so it's definitely at 43 watts right now, so it's going crazy. So let's go to the RESVECT. All right, so the fans is definitely kicking on now. So the fans is definitely kicking on this thing. And it's crazy because even when I did like a Cinebench test, the fans don't kick on in the Cinebench test. That's what's crazy. The fans do not kick on in the Cinebench test, and it's really going crazy during the Cinebench test, Cinebench 2024. But you know, it's definitely kicking on. We up to like a little under 9 gigs of memory being used. So, you know, your resources really get pushed to the limit when you don't have the Plex pass, so you can enable hardware transcoding. So here go Thanos. Let's get this going. Let's see when it's going to tap out. Let's see when it's going to stop. You know what I mean? This is 10 cores, 4 performance cores, 6 efficiency cores. So let's see when it's going to tap out. Let's see what's going to happen here. So we got it started up. All right, let's go ahead and push that transcode and see. First let me go back in. Let me go into the dashboard. I'm not even in the dashboard. What the? That's the wrong dashboard. Hold on. All right. So you see what's going on here. All right, it's just direct streaming right now. It's transcoding. See what's going on here. You see the CPU, even in the Plex app, CPU 100%, system going crazy. So did it go through though? Okay. Oh yeah, we're transcoding Avengers Infinity War. So all right, so let's go to the next one, Terminator. Right, we got the next one going, Terminator. Oh, Home Alone is buffering. So yeah, we tapped out. Home Alone is definitely buffering right there. Like it's a wrap. Home Alone is buffering. So yeah, we RESVECT, did that tap out too? But Home Alone was definitely buffering. Let's see if this one goes through though. Let's see if we can, is it gonna be able to go through? CPU losing its mind, boy. Like, nah, Home Alone buffered again. So yeah, we tapped out. So we was able to basically get around 5, you know, 6 or 5, mainly like 4 comfortably. He was able to do 4 comfortably. Now you got to understand something. That's at 43 watts. Now, if you go back to like the UHD 770, the 12900K, when we was software transcoding, when we got to like 2 or 3 movies or 4, we was damn near, like we was doing, I think we was doing a lot of movies on that one. I think we was able to do a lot of movies. I can't remember, but I remember the wattage being at like 300 watts, 250, 300. I think we was able to do more movies software transcoding with the UHD 770. And I don't remember if I did software transcoding with the Intel Core Ultra. I can't remember. So let's go over here to the RemuXs. Let's see what happens when we at the RemuXs. Let's definitely see what happens with the RemuXs with software transcoding. And we're gonna be wrapping this up. Gonna definitely be wrapping this up. All right, Batman Begins. You know, we already talked about this. You already know how I feel about it. So let's go. Batman Begins. All right, let's see what the system. All right, the CPU kicking up. These are some big files, so the CPU definitely kicking up already. Let's hit the Zodiac, which is a 90 gig file. All right, let's go ahead and start this one up. So yeah, overall, man, this M4 Mac Mini, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. Please let me know what you think about this M4 Mac Mini. This is definitely the best base model that I ever used, because remember, when the M1 I used the base model, with the M2 I used the base model, so those was 8 gigs. This is 16 gigs. So this is definitely the best one out of all, plus they add in the AV1 support, so it was definitely crazy. Now let's go ahead and push, check in with the system. You already know, everything going 100, everything going crazy, under, you know, 6 gigs of RAM, memory being used. Let's go ahead and push this transcode. All right, But what makes this stand out is the efficiency, man. It's hella efficient, man. You got to give Apple credit, man. You got to give Apple credit, man. Like, you know, I got a love-hate relationship with Apple. You know what I mean? I love the company. I hate a lot of the nonsense they do. But you got to give them credit. This was a genius idea. Instead of waiting for Intel, instead of, you know, trying to make something work with AMD, they said, F that. We're going to do our own CPUs on the ARM architecture. That was just genius, man. You got to give AMD their props, man. And it's really a full circle moment because you remember with Steve Jobs in one of my old videos, my Hackintosh videos, I talked about Steve Jobs wanting everything to have a quiet operation. Let's go ahead into the Dark Knight. Now that we got Glory going. The Dark Knight. So Steve Jobs never wanted the fans to kick on, you know what I mean? And fans had to kick on because of them Intel CPUs. Them Intel CPUs were so goddamn hot, but he still didn't want the fans to kick on. He wanted people to experience the computer without that. So when they came with this this ARM architecture, bro, I'm sorry, man. I know Steve Jobs was smiling in his grave, bro. Like, it's smiling in heaven or whatever, bro. Like, cause that's just amazing that they was able to accomplish that, man. You got to give Apple credit for that, man. A lot of the other stuff Apple do is ridiculous, but you got to give them credit for that. So the usage is just, you know, insane. It's going crazy. It's absolutely going crazy. But nonetheless, let's keep going until we can't go no more, man. The Dark Knight Rises. So yeah, Christian Bale is his damn name. I forgot his damn name. But Christian Bale, man, I can't believe that he stopped this, man. He didn't even double back later on, man. He just was like, he didn't want to get typecasted. But even Christian Bale, after this, he didn't have no great movie. So it just pisses me off even more that he decided not to do these no more. He could have took a break, did some other movies, and came. American Gangster is buffering. Yeah, American Gangster is buffering. Like, yeah, we tapped out. You know, these are some huge movies right here. We damn sure tapped out. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's a done deal. It's a done deal, y'all. So however amount that was, I don't know. Hope one of y'all keep count. So basically 4 if you're doing software transcoding. You know, if you get this, you definitely want to do the hardware transcoding. Let's do the AV1s without hardware and let's just see how that goes. And then we're going to call it a wrap. We're going to sum everything up and call it a wrap, man. Where are we at right here? We're going to the AV1 4K. Now, this is when it should lose its mind. Software transcoding with no GPU, it should lose its mind, boy. Like, it should go insane. All right, so it's not going insane, you know, still some bars down over here. So, all right, but the first one is up. It's transcoding. First one is up. It's not really going too crazy. So let's go to Van Helsing. Oh, then again, you remember this has AV1 support, so that's why it's not losing its ever loving mind. But you know, I guess that's why. But it is software transcoding, so let's go ahead and push this one. Let's see what happens. And the GPU is definitely almost not doing anything. So we got 2 up right now. Let's check in with the dashboard. All right, 720p. Check in with the dashboard. They go to CPU. All right, and the RAM. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go to Full Metal Jacket. Let's see what happens here. All right, Full Metal Jacket was definitely one of those movies. It has a popular name, you know, but I still ain't watch it. I guess back in the 80s, this was a huge movie. I don't know. I really don't know. I only got it because it was AV1 and it was 4K and I wanted to test it for you guys. Thank me in the comments, please. Please thank me in the comments. So there we go. We got 3 going. And the CPU is not really, it was doing worse with the RemuX. To tell you the honest truth. It's handling itself pretty well. These are 4K files. Start from the beginning. I think it was going crazier with the RemuX movies, tell you the honest truth, but Let's push this over to 720p. Let's make sure it go through the creator. All right, we over 7 gigs of RAM being used. GPU's not really doing nothing. All right, now it's, you know, definitely at max. So let's now go to the last one I got, which is the Bronx Tale. And let's go ahead and play this one. So let's get this one going. Remember, it converts automatically because you can't direct play in Plex. In Google Chrome with Plex, you can't direct play. If you want to direct play with Plex, you have to open up the app. You know, you have to open up the Plex app if you want to direct play AV1. It's not going to work in any internet browser. I don't know if it was one that it worked. I heard Firefox might work, but when I tested it out, it definitely wasn't working. So the creator is buffering. So it's basically tapped out. You know what I mean? The creator is buffering. It still ain't even come back. So look at the creator. Oh, it says it's playing, but it's not. I guess now it is. I don't know. But nonetheless, that's how it is with 5 AV1 4K files. All right, so we did the regular 4K algorithm that I normally do with all my tests. Then we also did the 4K RemuX test. Then we did the 4K AV1 test, both hardware and software transcoding for both. Now, would I purchase this right now? Is this a good buy in my personal opinion? No. But let me explain why. To buy something like this for $500 to $600 just for Plex is insane. Like, I'm just honest with you. But if you got money to burn, you just got money to burn. You do whatever you want to do. But I think this is going to be one of the best options out point blank period in about, 1 to 2 years when it start hitting the used market, when you could snatch it up for $200 to $300. Oh my God, this is going to be a beast. This is a problem out there. You got to remember, this is comparable to Intel's UHD 770 or the Intel's Ultra Core. This is comparable to it, and it's doing it more efficient. Please, by all means, feel free to go back to my older videos and look at the wattage that I was at. That's why I use HW Info. You see, even information that I don't even highlight is going to be on that screen. So please, if you want to talk about the power, this is just extremely efficient. Everybody out there that got the Synology NAS, that keep all their content on the Synology NAS, then they point it to another computer to handle the transcoding. If you have a M1 that you're pointing it to, this will be, I will definitely upgrade to this in about a year or two, and I could snatch it up for $200 to $300, and then I'll just sell off my M1 or my M2. That's how powerful this is. I think this is amazing. Now, some people out there might be like, hey, I could buy this for $500 to $600, and then I can use it as my daily driver as well. Listen, I'm not a fan of that. I never recommend having your Plex server on the same computer as your daily driver. I'm just not a fan of that at all. But, do whatever you want to do. So that's my review out there. That's the transcode test. I think we did a hell of a job. Yes, this video is long because I didn't want to separate it into 2 different videos. This is just too much. My next Plex transcode video will be the A770 Intel GPU. And it's a reason that I want to go down that route. You know what I mean? But that's going to be the next one I do. But nonetheless, this is the Marco Payne for Geek Shh. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And last but not least, may the good news be yours.